Recording is on.
Okay. So hello, welcome guys.
Recording is on.
It's twice recording. Okay, now I got confused. But okay, today I wanted to talk about energy management, and I want to give a little background why it came to my hologram, my imagination. This whole topic. One thing was related to human design because I started again to bring this descriptions of human design to other people, explaining them how it works. I think it's showing the best of all these tools for like self-understanding, let's say, what kind of energy centers we have. So kind of like with chakras too. There we have it even more extended with 9 centers. And how different it is when we have this one center defined or it's open. I think there's similarity in chakras, in management of energy there. So I hope Tushar will bring also something here, and how important it is to open our chakras. And then, once we open, there is another topic like how to maybe receive the energy from outside, from our environment, what we actually want to receive. If we want to take, for instance, some negative energy, maybe not. Or maybe there is another solution. We can potentially transmute this energy into something else, but this probably also requires some other work that I wanted to discuss too, if you guys have some ideas. On top of it, I was thinking also through the laws of the universe, you can call it like, or hermetic principles. And for instance, cycles. We can have different energy levels in winter than in summer, or even every day. We have different energy during the day and then during the night, and how we can efficiently manage all these different cycles. Similar to moon, true? Like it will be different energy flow with the new moon or full moon. Also, the energy that we give, so manifest to outer world or express with like cause and effect, kind of like law. So to be careful, like what we like, careful, just being aware and come up like giving from the heart frequency. So we also receive this good energy back. So there's like a couple of different inspirations, ideas like about energy management and how not to get lost, because some things that are like within us, then they come from the outside world, then they come from our cycles, and they're like influence everyone around too. And how not to freak out, guys. Tell me what you think.
I mean, at least like when you were talking, like the first thing that came to my mind is that for a very long time it was very hard for me. And it's, of course, like, you know, like all the pattern, all this kind of stuff, like it only confirmed it to me, and it actually helped me to determine that it's hard for me. Now it's getting easier to determine when I'm feeling my energy or like other person's energy. And when I was like walking into the room, like in the past, I would feel like, oh my God, I'm bringing like negative energy because I'm feeling it inside myself. But the reality was that it was actually like the energy of the other people, that I was just feeling so deeply that I could like literally feel that in my gut. And I don't know like what happened. I guess it just comes with the practice, you know. It's also getting better and better. Like I'm finally, and it feels very freeing, able to tell that it's actually like the other person's energy, which also helps me to keep myself grounded, you know, because
I'm happy that you brought it up.
Yeah, I'm not intensifying this even more, you know.
Yeah, like to separate this, like understanding this is mine, this comes from me, but this is not. I feel it in myself, but that's not mine. I don't want it. Oh, great, I'm happy.
Yeah, like I can also like bring this example, because I mean it's, you know, it's like it's kind of funny because my house is now being renovated in Poland, and I went to Poland to my family, and they are so done with with the house renovation. That like for the first 2 days when I was like around the house, I was like, something is wrong. Like I feel like itchy, you know. I feel uncomfortable. Something is off. And my dad said, yeah, you know, 2 days we had a discussion, and it was not a very nice discussion, and we're just very tired of having like, you know, the renovation, the house renovation. Is like, ah, okay, so it was not like me suddenly out of nowhere starting to feel like lower. It was just already something, you know, like in the air that was just around the house. But I was also very happy because as soon as I realized that, it kind of, this feeling left. I don't know, like as soon as I realized it, I stopped being feeling affected by that.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask. Like, well, how are you now, like, understanding? Okay, this is not mine. I feel it within. What you do with this? Like, you clean yourself, kind of like I let it out because it's not mine, or some
I
other
mean,
thing
yeah.
that.
uh, as soon as I realized it, I think that I started being focused. Like I think it was like very intuitional, but I started just being focused. Like because I think that also like my energy was, because I was around the house. I'm like very comfortable, you know. So I was like, my energy field was more open. And when I realized that, I think that I focused more like on the energy within me, and it kind of created this protective shield. But it was very very intuitional. But this is how I could describe that. Once I realized that, I kind of, yeah, like I saw it helped me to feel more my own energy. Yeah.
I think it is about being it's like an awareness thing, because I think even I'm still learning that. I think because I'll be in certain situations where I'll feel like different, but then not realize that it's because I'm picking up on things that are in that's like vibes that I've maybe not realized, and then I'm feeling weird and haven't actually realized it's because it's not anything to do with me. It's because I've just picked up on other energy. So I think it is an intuition thing as well. Like I guess you've just got to become more aware of it.
Yeah, I think everything starts like with this awareness, understanding that there are this kind of energies. It's not just woo woo, and then you can also. That's why I like human design. Show me like from which centers I'm kind of naturally open, and I can really pick up everything from outside, multiply it, and also multiply it into negative if someone is just giving me a trigger. Um,
I have a question actually, which I was
yeah,
thinking about the other day, because I was on the tube. I was getting on the tube, and obviously I'm not used to be surrounded like by loads of people like a lot, because I'm at home like working. So getting on the tube, and I was thinking, I feel like I can pick up on people's energy really quickly, but then I didn't. So like if I look at someone, I can sort of know if they've got good energy or like bad, and I don't know. I can just pick. I feel like I pick up on that, but then I don't know if that is a subconscious bias, or if it's actually picking up on people's energy.
can you remind me what is your human design?
Mine is manifesting generator.
But I would need to probably see your chart, because it also, you can be manifesting generator, yet you can have many open centers. And still,
Yeah.
even if you have like defined centers, you can open them.
Okay.
And then it's kind of like that's why some people are kind of more compassionate, more empathic than others, because they are more open, and they pick up others' feelings.
Yeah.
And you
Oh my
can
God, I
feel
have
it
that all the time.
sometimes even before they even realize it. And
Yeah,
I have similar. Like
I
I
have that
have.
all the time. It's hard. Like I can literally like feel what someone is thinking and know what they're thinking, and then I feel it.
Yeah, I would need to see your chart
I
really.
can share it with you.
Yeah, and then it's probable that you may have the sacral, no, solar plexus open there, so you would pick up feelings of people, or maybe head, if you are saying that you also sense their thoughts.
I'll have a
And
look.
then
I'll have a look and share it with you.
yeah, go ahead, Tushar.
So it's so nice listening to all of you and the way it is. When I was a kid, I used to feel like it's only me who feels this way, who can sense the emotions of others. And growing up in 90s here in India was like people were not open to such kind of conversations. Like I'll say I went somewhere to some house and I was not feeling good, and their energy was not good, and like everybody will restrict me. Why are you saying this? You should not say that. So what happened? All this started to depreciate the natural urge what you are feeling, and you have to just pose to be smiling face in the gatherings, and just ignore what it is. Now, what you guys just said is a very relevant and interesting thing, and definitely we being empaths, more the person is empath, having an empathetic nature, we are more susceptible to pick up different energies from different people. Now, this is good and bad, a blessing and a curse at the same time. Why? Because you might be feeling quite good and you just walking on the road. Suddenly you start feeling bad because of somebody other's energy. Now, as per Charlotte's question, how to differentiate between it's your energy or somebody else's energy, or it's your own subconscious making a projection, right? So the best method for that is you just be in the question and ask how the way you are feeling, is it making you light? Whenever you get in touch with an external energy, it will always make you feel heavy, even if
Yes.
that is your energy. And like maybe it's some conflict going on in your life and it is your own thought, your own energy, still you will have a resonance with that. You will feel that is yours, you will have a resonance with that, you won't feel that heaviness. But an external energy, you definitely will feel a sense of heaviness. Then what to do? What's the solution? You don't have to give a weightage to that energy. Just like, I can tell you a simple exercise, or put your both hands to the thymus and just say, like, whatever that energy, feeling, emotion is, please go back to the sender with consciousness attached. Getting the point? You're just giving it back to the sender. And why you're saying with consciousness attached, you are not just getting that particular energy, but with the consciousness from the universe, from the divine, to go back, and so that that person also have a sense of uh, you know consciously, like some soothing, what you can say, an epiphany or result for this, letting that distressed energy into the universe. That is like the best exercise, like one of the best, and the like what you can do for starting. And then when you have meditation, then there are a hell lot of things, right, from the cleaning up of your thoughts, feelings, emotion, and the cleansing of the whole chakras. Because again, whenever we are feeling something on the energy level, any chakra is involved. We humans can't feel anything without this. If no chakra is involved, if no chemical is released in the brain, we can't feel it. Maybe it love, pain, anything. And then it's totally one of the chemical mojos on one end, uh, and the game of the chakras on other end. That's why it is said to empower the chakras, why the chakra cleansing and the chakra meditation and chakra healing is so important. Because then you make yourself potent enough to deal with any of the life situation, whatever the life is throwing at you. And now coming at energy point in general, like if we talk about energy, so on this planet Earth, where is the energy we are getting from? We have to go to the root. If we decipher it, it's the sun's energy that's making life on the earth. As per a research done some scientists, if sun doesn't come in the next day, it won't take more than 18 hours when life will start uh, ceasing to exist within a span of 18 hours. So we are actually solar beings. No matter we eat food, how do food come, like even if the person is non eating non-veg, still that animals are eating some kind of food that is grown from the soil and the process of, or the sun and the water and the earth, everything it is involved. So when you know the cycle, the food we are eating is just like is a product of air, water, sunlight, right, and the soil and the earth. So that is the source of energy. So that's why in our culture, the yogic culture, there are exercises, and the energy in second energy is the moon. at the night. Like moon is governing all of the minds. Everybody has felt with the full moon and the waxing moon, there is a shift in the mental state of being. So these are the basic energy centers from where the energy has originated. And like to deal with energy management on the peripheral level, you can go on to do anything, but still you won't find any crux. But if you are able to handle even the sun and the moon energy by some yogic practice, like hatha meditation, like hatha yoga. Hatha ha means sun, tha means moon. Hatha yoga is concentrating, combining the energy of the sun and the moon within yourself, in your system, in such a way that this doesn't affect you. That is like you're operating from the root level, and everything else surrounded in your real life will be taken care of. So that was from the basics. Mahata, please continue, and
Yeah, I
I'll.
just have a question for you
Yeah,
because, like, I mean, like, first of all, by the way, I also heard of people who learned how to feed themselves with the sun energy, so that completely, makes sense.
yeah,
But the second thing that I also have in mind is that, yeah, like, on one hand, like, we are dependent on the sun, but somehow I was always drawn more towards the energy of the moon, and I, for example, find it more at ease when I'm at night. And honestly, it's for me it's so frustrating, that we
good
live
night.
in this like world where it's actually you should sleep through the entire night. Like, I would be the happiest if, for example, I could go to sleep like more or less, I know, like in 2 hours. Probably I would be the happiest to go to sleep for 4 hours, then wake up, function a bit at night, because this is how some people also do it, and then sleep for the for like 4 more hours. So this is what I also wanted to like ask you, or like that I'm more attracted to the energy of the moon, actually, and I feel better and more kind of not maybe energized, but I'm less overwhelmed.
Yeah, sure, sure. So the moon is the representation of the mind for every individual, for every human being. Moon is the general representation of the mind. If you know astrology, so it's like wherever the moon is placed, the person's mind will think of that particular thing, which in which house it is. Moon is a significator of the universal mind itself. That is illuminating. Like we see, moon is illuminating with a soothing light. And and why, like sun is providing the energy to survive, to live, to eat, to have all, get all sort of energy. Moon is totally responsible for the way we think, we behave. Like sometimes we natural with the cycles of the moon, we naturally feel good. Sometimes with the and again, for some people, dealing with the full moon days and the new moon days is really havoc, because who are they, those are too sensitive. So both of these energies are equally important. For example, no matter how much a person has concentrated the sun energy, he is healthy. He's having a muscular body, he is good. But if his mind is not working well, if he is doing his in zero in mind, you'll put it up in a mental asylum, right? So it's not that that energy is less, or this is, those are two equally important. And on one other hand, if a person is like somewhere evolved with the mind, but his body is not healthy enough, he can't even enjoy the life, right? So both of these energies are equally important. And the more the person sensitive is, more he she will be aligning with the cycles of the moon. And there are many meditations, like full moon meditation, like even one I have made on YouTube. So why? Because these meditations are there from the, like, say, thousands of years, the meditation of the moon. And it was a one time here in India, it was a practice to meditate on full moon night, at least 30 minutes in the light of the moon.
If we have a
Why?
look, and I think moon doesn't have its own light, it's actually reflecting the sunlight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it kind of makes sense that they're very much connected, and it's like this
yeah,
driving, motivating force, power that we have. It
yeah.
can also like mm, motivates us to towards some change and boosts our maybe instincts too. Um,
I
that's how
think
I
I'm
would feel it.
more tired on the full moon. Like I always feel like I've got like less energy.
I feel like I get and at the same time spend like a lot of energy because I cannot sleep. I would be like all night on almost, and
My kids are
yeah.
definitely affected on the full moon. Like their
Yeah.
sleep, well, Ella in particular, my oldest one, the week before a full moon, a few days before, she's always up in the night or like sleep talking or doing like weird things. And it's always before a full moon.
Yeah, I feel the same. I cannot sleep. Like I'm actually driven. I need to do something maybe more motivated, more on. So it's pretty interesting.
For me,
I mean, well, we get this light from the sun
yeah.
still, and it's like during the night you can be on, or
I think
more at least.
for me, I'm also thinking like how my own energies like align, and like in general, like when you look at my, for example, human design, or like even the natal chart, like my natal chart shows that I have more like the masculine, so maybe like you could say the sun energy, right? This active energy. And also the my human design, it also says that I'm like a generator, so I don't necessarily like need more, like maybe this doing energy, this active energy. And that could be also the reason why I'm more attracted to this like more passive energy, like of the moon. This is what I'm also thinking about, that maybe this is why for me it's just kind of completing the yin to my yang. More or
But
less.
moon is not so passive. I mean, it
I think
depends on the
it's for the
cycle
negative
of the
energy.
moon, actually,
I
that you
think
will feel more on or more like relaxed. So it
yeah,
doesn't
but
have to be.
they were also saying like they were also saying that like the sun is more like the masculine energy, and like at nights like wise women like they would meet. This is what was like this Matthias de Stefano saying, and they people like mistakenly thought that because at night it's dark, it's scary, therefore like this more feminine energy is like they were trying to like kind of vandalize that energy. Like this is what Matthias de Stefano was saying, so that's why I think like the also like they started just making up, like all those things
But
like
if they were at night awake with energy, that means that has energy more. It is not like relaxing. Um, I think both of them have a bit of
Look,
both.
the
Like,
moon, yeah, the thing with moon is it gives us a message. What message does moon give? If you look at the moon just as it is it beautiful? No, it's not. It is having craters,
I think it's
right?
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's giving
it's
message. Even if you're not beautiful, but if you illuminate with the light, even if that's a reflected light, but even if you can give back the light that you are getting, you can look beautiful,
Ah,
right?
okay, this
it's a
way.
receptive. Like I would say,
Yeah.
also comparing to open centers
Openness. It's
versus the manifesting ones that are
yes.
defined.
Yes.
You can multiply it, this energy that you receive, with the
Yeah,
open ones. So
open.
actually, it
It's
can be even more powerful.
yeah. It's saying just you give, and if you give, you shine. Whatever you are receiving, just give it away. You will shine. Second thing is moon is changing its color. Oh, sorry, its face every day. So that's another message it's giving, that life will be like that. You'll have something new each and every day. Each and every area of your life will be different. Each and every year of your life will be different. Each and every graph and sector of your life is different. So embrace the difference,
Yeah,
and still you can look different. You can look beautiful going on whenever you're full or half, or when even you're just a fine line, you can look beautiful.
I
So
just wanted to say is that I probably also made this connotation because I remember also, and also like we also had like these discussions like with Jackie that, for example, like women are functioning a bit more like the moon, with their like menstrual cycles, and the men they are more like with the sun, that they just get energy like more in the morning, and by the night they get more tired. And like for example, like with the menstrual cycle, it's also like within a month you'll have more energy like at a certain like in a certain week, and like for example like when you're about to start your menstrual cycle, like you feel like it's way less energy. And it's kind of more similar to the moon, that is also changing, right? It's like going from a complete dark to then going through like the entire circle. So I also think that this is why in my mind I made this like connotation, just to also complete like why I came to this idea.
Well, each of them
Yeah,
it's a
from this I
cycle, so we
remember
need to.
one you made me remember. Sorry, just let me finish because it is similar to what she said. Like that made me remember one more thing. It is sad. Like moon is going bit far from Earth. and one fine day it will go that far that the cycles of moon won't be having any effect on the women's menstrual
Mhm.
cycles. And at that time, when they're, when women's won't get the menstrual cycle, they won't be able to carry babies, and that will be the end of humanity.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, I heard that it's moving away, but I didn't know that it will actually affect women.
yeah, it will affect. So, and some thousands of years,
Yeah, but
but
it's
yeah,
really far
but
away.
after that there won't be any. So that is how significant the moon is to every living organism, right? The energy of the moon. Now you can at least get the depth of the significance it carries.
Well, both are. We're like in the middle between sun and I mean all the
Mm,
planets,
yeah,
basically the stars. It's like influencing us the same way as everything here on Earth
everything.
that we could see systems here, ecosystems, how they are
Yeah,
working. So we cannot deny that they don't influence our lives and that we don't feel these energies because even if we are unconscious about it, they're actually um, driving us somewhere. And that's why maybe it's
yeah,
good to get familiar with it, learn a bit how it works, and manage this energy. Like when it's time for maybe receiving some energy, like how I can use it for the benefit of myself and others. Mm,
true.
that's what I was the aim of this conversation too. So I'm very happy that we like kind of go
Yeah,
smoothly through
right.
these cycles and
Yeah, very true. What Aga, what you just said is quite relevant. And actually, the birth of astrology was to get the note of the energies that you're carrying, what kind of influences that those planets are giving to, and what energies you're carrying, and how to manage your energy back. But with the time change of time, it just became a means to predict future, and that's totally wrong. It was never meant to be like that. It was totally meant to get your own human design or your own hologram with aspects of chart how it is, and just figure out how you can balance your energy the best, and then live the life to your full potential. Rather, it changed on to knowing something in the future. Well, if I'll have a boy or a girl, when will I get married, when I will I get job. So it became very pity, sorry, small.
yeah, for
It
some
was
it will be like prediction, for some it will be like programming again yourself, like,
yeah,
oh, I'm like this, so I don't need any work myself.
yeah,
And that's not what it was. It's actually, hey, you are a creator, you can now you have the graph, you can see like how you can balance your energies and where
energy
the
system.
points to work on, what you can experience maybe from others, open yourself up to some other things from outside world. um, but maybe for some
Yeah,
you just close yourself and you decide. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, there are a couple of I don't know, misinterpretations. Something that is easier, I guess. It's easier to say, oh, this is what's gonna happen, so I don't need to do anything. Yeah, that's the one of the choices you have. You can do nothing, you just go with the flow, but then you're not the creator. And I think that
yeah,
our final goal, like stage after, like the plane of the human experience, is like, hey, you can actually do anything, you can change anything there. And
yeah,
well, you can choose to go with the flow and let those energies to move you, but is it really something that you want to do, or you want to take everything in your hands and be responsible? Like, I want to do something totally different, I'm just going for it.
yes, yes, yes. And this reminds me of this one chapter that I've written, karma theory, that's coming in my next book. And here I've written it precisely, like the whole aspect of knowing the karma logic, or say from astrology or for anything. For example, that there is a karma involved in which you have to go through a storm, right? You have an urgent meeting. There are two people, both have to go to from place A to B, and there is rainfall, and there is a storm in the way, it's a hailstorm, and it's very urgent. You have to take that meeting. Now it's on to you. You can sit at your home, close your doors. Oh my god, it's raining, it's like that, I can't go. Second thing, you can just you know your human design, and you can hold an umbrella and you go with that. Or you progress good enough that you have a chauffeur driven car, and you just enjoy the view. You just enjoy while sitting back. You can talk to the friend, listen to the music while you reach to your destination. The karma involved is totally same, going from point A to point B, but how you look at it, how you manage it, how you change and rotate it, that's what the essence of being human is.
That is so true. It's all about perspective, isn't it? Because like any situation you have, someone else could have the exact same situation, but look at it in a different way. So it's just how you look at it and see it in a positive way, or see it, use it either as a lesson learned. So either way, it's an experience. You learn something from it, or like something good can come out of it. But it's just perspective, I think, and mindset.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
beautiful how you put it in words, and it proves like it comes from within. This same situation, two people may have, and one will be complaining and will stay at home and do nothing there, and the other person just will, take the umbrella, enjoy the rain and the meeting with the other person, and that he will be happy.
That
You
literally
could
happened
feel
this
it,
morning.
even when you were saying it. Like,
It's true, because like this morning I went and met a friend to see her house, her new house, and it was pouring with rain. She needed to walk her dog. I was like, it's fine, like we'll just go walk your dog. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm like, you really don't need to say sorry. Like, I'm enjoying it. Like, I wanted to get out for a walk. Like, I would tell you if I didn't want to do it. It's, it was nice going for a walk with her. It doesn't matter if it's raining. I've got a coat.
yeah.
I mean, like,
Wonderful.
I this is what I also notice what people do, like when they are very early in their spiritual journey, and they basically, for example, like sorry, so they're like in the beginning of their spiritual journey, and they are like in this moment when like everything is just falling apart, like it's like everybody's element moment, and their first reaction is, it must be some karma from my past life. And I had to tell my friend, it doesn't necessarily have to be karma. Just think, like, you should, like, karma is just also like something, like a very broad thing to say. And I don't know if you also experience similar thing, but then I try to tell my friends, like, Yaga also tell me this kind of stuff. You Tushar also tell me the same stuff. That it's like I'm the creator. It also comes from within me, and I'm trying to tell my friends about that. But when they're like very like just starting, they're looking for like all these terms just to think, okay, maybe it's karma, maybe it's my human design, maybe it's the natal chart. And I kind of feel like maybe people also need to go just through this phase, because they also try all these things out, and then they see, okay, this doesn't work. It will not help me to actually be happier, and then they are ready to see that they are the creators, that this is like if they create something like really bad, it's probably that they even like unconsciously, because they were not aware of their energy before, just manifested it.
I totally agree, and as much as I also am into alchemical enlightenment and the process there, really, like, you have to they describe like 7 stages, and they're opposite to each other, but it looks like you have to go through this one in order to go to the other one. Like, one has to be like separation, and then you have to connect everything together. So I guess you need to come into this realization. Someone may tell you, but it's so much different when you experience it yourself. Like, hey, I'm looking too much around on outside to explain what is happening to me. And no, wait, this is not this. Like, it's inside of me. It's nothing. Like, human design is actually you, like, within you. Like, why to say it like it's from outside, or the entities, like, I was telling you guys too, like, in the beginning of my journey too, like, one person was coming to me, and so everywhere around me some entities, usually some bad ones, like demons or something, and I'm like, this is too crazy, I guess. Like, where the hell I get all these entities, and I don't feel like I'm on such low vibrations to even catch it. So thank you, Tushar, for this like amazing our conversation a couple of months ago, like, because I was also like, what, why am constantly something from outside? No. I feel happy. I'm not letting like some entities to come on me.
No problem.
Sorry,
Okay,
I have.
darling. No,
Sorry,
sure.
I'll be on next one though. Sorry, it's so interesting though. But I'll speak to you guys soon.
Yes, thank you so much.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Uh,
So another thing I like to, whenever I'm here in India, whenever I'm sitting with some custodians who are totally into astrology and it's their bread and butter, and the way they are super strict and stringent about what is like, oh, this is it, like, oh, it's written in the chart and this is how the life has to follow. But I don't agree to it. Why? Because then I say, if we humans don't have an iota of control over our life, then this whole, entire existence, I find it idiocracy. Because then it's like, okay, somebody is destined to be like that, he she has no controls, you can't blame him, right? Somebody is good or somebody is bad, then it's totally because of its chart and displacement and so I don't agree to it. I just say, like, okay, that is there. Now what you have to do is totally onto a human being, how he has to steer the wheel, right? As a, like I'm saying, you're saying somebody is having his is on the motorboard and he hits the bank, and you tell him like, oh, like, I hate the bank because that was written in my chart, because it was like an entire ocean waiting for you where you can ride, and still you're hitting the bank. So all of it, again, we like, it's the same example, right? There's rain, there's this, and there's that. It's how we create things out of it. It's totally that what makes a difference
Yeah.
in life.
That's why I'm trying. Like, I used to be really obsessed with tarot, especially when I met Aga. But like now, I'm using tarot only like once in a while, and also like usually when I use it, is like because like I feel a bit like insecure and I want to like make sure that everything is going to be fine. So it's like a coping mechanism now, just sometimes picking up on tarot. But I have also noticed that like once I think it was also like a like a little like a process for me, to also experience like what's the symbolism, what are the energies, like how do I work with my own energy, and like some like very intense like symbolic creation. So I think it was a still very nice experience for me. I read like books, and there were like lots of chemical references. So I think that overall this experience was amazing. But then, for example, during summer, I like, and it was also like the last time that I reached out to this guy, because I knew that my grandpa was trying to contact me in the dream, and I asked him if he could help me like with the tarot to see what the grandpa said, and he said, your grandpa is saying that you should buy a travel insurance because you will be traveling and something really bad is going to happen when you're on the road. And I was like, and honestly, like first, like I got like, of course, it's not a thing that you would want to hear, But then I was also like thinking that first of all, of course, like I was already in this time when I was getting to know like that you're the creation of your like reality. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that like I'm not anymore in touch with that person, because I have realized that although they are very good at tarot reading, they are very good to connect with all the spiritual beings and so on and so on, their own energy is so low. They have like, for example, this person would get sick every week, they would get just high
Mm.
fever out of nowhere. Something, it would annoy them, and they were like, when they were on Instagram stories, because of course their friends say how amazing this is, but on Instagram stories they would be saying so many bad things, only bad things about people, and then so like you know that person, that guy, right? Because like we also paid for him once. And then I have realized, yeah, like I don't want to listen to this kind of person. Like, and also like his friend also did a tarot reading to me once, and it was like completely out of the blue. So yeah, this is also like one of the and of course I went to Spain and nothing bad happened. Like I didn't need a travel insurance,
so
by the way.
conclusion.
Conclusion is that it's like, I think that it's just like some doctors are trying to make us very dependable on the medicine. There will be also like lots of very good esoterians. I think there's really very few of them that actually do a good job, that will make you dependable on their services, you know I think there's just very few. Like for now, like I would pay only for services from one person, and I just do it from time to time. But it's also because when I text her, she always replies. She also tells me some tips that I can do to help myself. She's not like, oh, I pay you and I don't want to talk to you anymore. She's like giving like lots from herself, you know. And like overall, what I see is that okay, she also has some services, but that's not her main point. Like when would have hours long discussions with her about energy. So she's the only person that I trust. But with the other esoterians, yeah, I think they are very also money oriented. So it's
I
very,
think we should never trust anyone from outside and look like within as much, like
of course,
learn to find these powers from within, and that
yeah.
I would
But you
see like
see,
the lesson there. Like I don't want to connect through someone else. It's again like in the religion, they tell us like you
yeah,
have to go to church, do it through the priest, otherwise you cannot connect with God. Like it's just like not the
I do
thing.
agree with you. And I'm also talking less and less to her because I also thought, okay, like we have similar interests, but I want to pay it my own way. Uh, but I also think that again, like just like Carol helped me, like kind of getting help from these people in a long run, it's I could say that it also helped me to get to this point, you know. Like sometimes it's just like you know, like with walking, like a baby crawls, you know, like the baby, I don't know, it's like just laying on the back, then it starts crawling, then it will maybe stand up, and then it will just start walking by itself. So I think that as long as the means help me to really become in the end self-sustainable with my energy work, then you know I hope it's good and it
Aga,
doesn't
there is no
when I do.
judgment in this. I totally
Yeah, yeah.
understand that everyone has simply different path and maybe needs to experience something from this
Mm-hmm.
perspective, and it's totally fine. Like
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't want to maybe give someone this power over me or some tool,
Mm-hmm.
whatever there is. It doesn't mean to that I deny it and like no way that I'm gonna use it, or it's kind of like more for fun and you know, we are sometimes playing with it too. But yeah,
Yeah,
when
I
I
mean,
already feel it within, and then it's a different resonance, I guess, and I don't feel dependable on anything there.
yeah,
I
but you
feel it
also
within.
you educate yourself so much, Aga. I think you're really the case that you made yourself so self-sustainable because you put a lot of effort into like
Thank
you
you.
just educate yourself all the time. So you know, I'm not surprised that
Yeah,
it's
Aga is like evolving herself constantly to be better, and she don't leave even a single day in that progression, right?
Oh my god. God.
yeah.
I mean, because I want to know, like, if I'm going to say to someone something, I also need to know it, like, that it's potentially the truth or that can be helpful for them. And that's why
Yeah.
my direction would be also towards empowering each particular individual person so they find it
Mhm.
within and they don't depend on me or any other source. I can be
Wow,
mistaken too.
that's same thing that I follow. That's actually the same principle that I follow.
Yeah, like
Like
inspire
two
maybe
foods are my
there. Yeah, there are many
yeah,
things, but try to
yeah,
gather as much as possible from different angles and you will
yeah.
just feel it within, like this vibrations and yeah, also we can talk about the energy that we are giving, um, and where we should give it, how to manage it, where my energy should go to, like what my inner compass should say.
Like I'll suggest let's keep the next topic for it, and I can come up with like or not just the random points that come into my head like right now, but with some actual, I'll work on it, like so that it's more helpful for everybody whoever watches it. Right, I can even tell right now, but still I just want to dig myself deep into it before speaking anything about it, because that becomes a very you know what you say, like a fine line to it, because having a very thin line to it, the way energy works. And if anybody is just it just plays with it and it can have more negative effects than the positive. So one thing is like the simplest thing is to be totally yourself, to meditate, to surrender, to be aligned. Now it's not that easy to do it, as said, right? Because then there involves a hell lot of things to be aligned and all the time, and there are a hell lot of things in the entire your entire day, your people you meet, the conferences, the meetings, the technology, and everything is having an effect on you. And then how to stay aligned in the chaos of life. That should be.
But also, like, one thing is what we receive. We are in these different environments, and we were talking about it. Yeah, that sometimes we get something that it's not really ours. But on the other hand, we also give. And where I want to put my energy, I mean, if I'm working for something that I don't really like, I'm not going to put positive energy there probably at some point, because it will start to be like just more and more annoying to me.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah,
And
that's a very
this
relevant
terms
point.
like how I can manage my energy, where I'm giving it, and
Yeah.
from which level of frequency to.
Exactly right. Like right now, we give our time and energy to this group, to the positive conversation, and definitely, I don't know about you guys, but definitely, whenever I speak something or I am the part of it and listening to all this, it just leaves with a very light feeling, very positivity around, and that carries a that keeps that is not something that just comes and go. It stays, right? So that's what happens when a cumulative energy is given to a particular thing, right? We here are in a different set of frequency and emitting those vibrations, and when we collectively, no matter in which part of the world we are sitting, but when we are giving that, we definitely receive that also.
Yeah.
And that's why you see the people who are always hating others, always jealous, you will see their life will be a mess, because whatever they are emitting, they're getting back also. And so that becomes a very important question to whatever the projects we are doing, even in the tech field, where we give energy to.
I think that the hardest part is something that, of course, I experience, but I know that many people around me struggle with. It's to set the limits where I'm giving my energy to which projects and
Yeah.
how many of them, and finding how much energy I actually have, and in how many things or interactions I can get involved during my day, or there's different cycles. Because we already discussed it, like every day this is one cycle, but then we have moon cycles, which we very much correlate as women. Then we have seasons as a year cycles.
Yeah.
Um, and now I feel, for instance, that we are in winter time, that it's like going lower, the energy. I feel like I need to relax more. It
Yeah,
has to be
it's
more going inside of myself. I don't feel like taking action. I think that that's the reflection also. The effect of it, it's like do nothing society that was created recently, because
you
we
know,
simply feel more
it's,
like
it's
let's cool
it's so
down.
funny, and because it's based on too much of a geographic location, because we in India, in now this season of November, we feel, oh my god, now it's breathable, because we get exhausted from the summers. It's like 45 degrees Celsius, right? 45, 47 corridor, and then the humidity. Now it's like we feel, oh, now winter has come. Now we feel energized.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm
Yeah,
also
but
kind of.
our winter is not like your winters, right? Like our summers is not like your summer. So that totally different. It's like right now it's like as of say, I guess July or August at your end, and now that weather is of
But
November to
that's the
ours.
thing that I am kind of. For I get tired from the heat. I don't like when it's too warm. I am completely different, and like for example, during summer when it already gets like up to like 28 degrees, I am going to be completely exhausted after that day. And for me, cold is actually something that energizes me. That's why, for example, you see like this safe place that Daniela created for me is actually something that was gifted to me in my dream, and there's snow everywhere. And I personally, for example, even when I go for a run, hello, Gary, when I go for like a jog, I don't really enjoy jogging during summer. Like I prefer jogging when it's actually like even snowy, like very cold outside. I come back home, my cheeks are red, I just have some warm clothes. And this is when I feel the most positively alive. And this is why, for example, so like some people are saying, like you Aga are saying, you feel more like doing less. But I feel like now when I can exactly like breathe and really feel the cold on my skin, I feel like I'm refreshed, way more refreshed, and like it's easier for me to control how much heat and how much cold I can take inside my body. So for me, this is way better for myself.
I'm now really analyzing fast what you all are saying, but in the same time, it's actually not about heat or cold. It's about how much we are exposed to the light of the sun during a day. And maybe if you feel too hot during a day,
Yeah.
in the summer, you actually don't go so much out and you don't take that much of this energy. Yet when there is a winter time, you actually finally feel like, oh, now finally I can go outside and it's bearable, and you catch more of light. That's something that comes to my mind, because that's the source of our energy during a day in each season.
Yeah,
Hey
but
guys, one question. How much long we are taking this session? Because I have to inform somebody.
It's up to us. I don't put limits on ourselves.
I mean, I was planning on like leaving in around 10 minutes myself.
Gary just joined. Like, we can go for at least
Okay.
1 hour more, probably.
Hey Gary.
What's up? Morning.
Yeah. But also, so are we now discussing this, or because I have something to add? But as I'm saying, it's very personal for me.
You go with the flow, whatever you feel like.
Yeah. So for me, like the thing that I just wanted to add, like, but as I'm saying, it's very personal for me. As I said, like I like more the moon energy than night. I feel like I'm more productive because I'm getting less overwhelmed. I get less impulses. So for me, actually, for me, January is the most productive month for me of the year. And when there's like sun outside, when it's like warm, I am more like, oh, let me go outside and grab something nice. Oh, let me enjoy the nice weather. And when there's like winter, I'm like, okay, it's dark outside, it's cold, like I'm just here and I'm doing my stuff. So for me, like the winter colder time overall, like, but thanks Aga for helping me realize that. Makes me more productive. But it's just me, like it's how my body and it gets also my energy
I was
function.
analyzing this year, why is the year constructed this way too. And it feels like from January, it actually starts like end of December. We start to have again longer days every day. Our body
Yeah.
feels that. It's like rebirth already,
Yeah,
like growing,
you're right.
step by step. And maybe this is the reason why we feel it, and why we have our resolutions for January, like starting from January. You start again this year with the new energy somehow. And the 22nd December is like the last moment, like the dark. I mean, from our hemisphere.
Winter sol-
Yes.
the winter solstice. That means like after that the day starts getting longer.
Yeah. So we feel it like with our body already. Like, okay, again, it's starting to be longer, like kind of growing already till spring. But then I think in spring it's like flourishing already, like blossom.
Mm. You know, one thing that came to mind is like how I kind of like shift physically from like one location to the next to find the optimal temperature.
Oh, true.
Yes, the optimal temperature, right? If it gets too cold, I can't even type properly with my fingers because it starts freezing. If it
Yeah.
gets too warm, my mind just gets foggy. I can't even like work. So ended up, I just like go and actually go either north or south based on the temperature to find the optimal temperature.
Yeah. I mean, it
Mm.
is influencing somehow our
Mm-hmm.
body.
And then it's like if I'm too far north, like and winter is about to come and the sunlight's
Hi,
like,
Neil.
what's up, Neil?
Hey, how's it going?
Morning.
Nice to see you guys. You guys are you guys are kind of semi in my dream state.
Ah.
Oh, Aga left.
Oh,
Oh, Aga's back.
I don't know.
Nice to see you guys.
Okay, just a little update for you two guys. Yeah, we were discussing like how we can distinguish which energy is ours, which is coming from outside,
mm.
which energies we want to and like receive, which we want to give out also. About cycles, that we have daily cycles, moon cycles, and then year cycles, annual cycles. And depending on it, we could also manage our energy better potentially. And we just started to talk about giving our energy and trying to find the limits of because, well, we have also some resource of energy, and to, for instance, to which projects we want to get involved. I think everybody understands what I mean here. Like, we have many things going on, so many things, like we want to say yes, oh my god, they're so exciting, yet well we have to somehow organize ourselves and this energy that we have, like what we should focus on, maybe when,
Mm.
and to which extent, etc., etc. And this is, I think, the hardest part. I don't know, guys, if you have some
Yeah.
tips, what you've done for yourself, and how you decide where to put your energy to.
Yeah, I actually have a very well defined system for that, Basically, I like hard cap myself to like 3 hours of active effort per day. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. And then like based on that, like anything that tries to get on the agenda, then like it's based on prioritization. If it's actually like low on the priority, it'll probably not make it into the day's agenda, then it gets shifted to the next day. And the next day, and inshallah, at some point, it'll probably get onto the priority, and then it will be done. Yeah.
But to dedicate yourself to particular project,
Actually, I wouldn't say particular project, right? I would actually like say which particular action of this cluster is the most important for today. Because like you can have like different like projects. Oh, I'm kind of like somehow like being invited to like attend a lot of like different projects. And then like I don't see it from the project scope, I see it from the action scope, right? It's like which action out of like this 10, 20, 30 different possible actions are like the most like actions I can engage in today, right now. That is very important. And the rest just gets deprioritized.
okay, you come from this perspective, like I have freedom, so I'm jumping to whatever I feel like today.
Mm, or it's
And
more
yet,
like
when you meet someone, and usually people want us to dedicate ourselves to some projects, and yeah, to
uh, actually
become the team members. So actually, that we work maybe every day for
mm,
something. And when someone comes to you and wants your like you to be assigned to some, even if there are tasks,
mm,
how you feel, what you do about it.
nice.
Is it like long-term vision to join some project, or what it would need to be that you
So
actually dedicate yourself to?
so that's like where it becomes interesting as well, It's like they can come, they have like needs. That's why I like spend so much time listening. And then like you see, people can ask, but you don't really have to oblige. It's more like, hey, okay, this is what you need for your project. And then I look at myself as like, what are the resources I have available to kind of like give, and that's what I give. Like anything like that's like beyond my resources, I'm sorry, I cannot give. Yeah, it's I think one of the actually I like to deal with these issues myself before. It's like one of the thing is like okay, I want to make others feel good so that I feel good, but then when I took a step back and think about it, actually I don't even need to make others feel good to actually for myself to feel good. So I can just do things within my limit, and like so long as kind of like okay, I've done my part, and then like I'll just let it rest.
What I would conclude then is like to very clearly state from the very beginning that
Yes.
we should not have expectations towards each other. That I'm happy to, I don't know, help someone with
Yes.
some task, but yeah, let's not put limits both
Yes.
ways. It can be extended, but it can be also like let me
Yes.
drop this project so someone doesn't feel like okay,
Yes.
now you will be part of the project and now go more.
No. Yeah. See, like that's why, like the core values, right? The tree, right? Autonomy, integrity, and diversity. Autonomy comes first, right? If you kind of like force someone else into like a project is like basically like, and he's like he or she has like no bandwidth and it's kind of like starting to affect his life or like her life and doesn't like start feeling good, then it's like impinging on the person's autonomy, and then like DAO, right? Decentralized autonomous organization. Autonomy is like very important.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Sarah, you wanted to add something?
I mean, I also kind of have a system for dedicating myself to projects, but it's like very much based on my intuition, you know? And like on one hand, like of course, like a lot of things sound interesting to us, and but like also notice that I have like those cycles, and like I'm getting like into this pattern when there's like moment when I have like really lots of things piled up, but also because like, and there's like really many things, but it also helps me to see what is more important for me, you know, like which project I want to dedicate more time to, which project less, because usually when I have like more time and there's like some like one project that is like quite fine, okay, like I don't mind, like I will dedicate myself to it, but then like more and more things are coming in, and then I just basically see, okay, so this is what works for me in this project doesn't work out for me, with this project I can do it on this kind of conditions, and I just really see that it naturally evolves over time, and it's never one-sided, you know. Usually both of the sides see what kind of energy is going on there, and in those like situations, like usually there was just the best outcome, you know, just allowing yourself to explore like what kind of energy is between you and the project person, the people that you want to do the project with, and then the system just sorts itself out. This is how it works for me.
Oh yeah. The space is just cleaning itself like naturally. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's just like Gary would say probably, and Neil do nothing, and then it's like, oh, just it's resolved. itself. It's just getting clear there.
Self
Yeah.
out. Actually, a lot of times in
Restart.
hindsight, a lot of times when you look in hindsight, it's like that thing doesn't even need to be done. Whatever. Instead, I just like it just removes itself, you know.
Yeah.
It's almost like we created whatever we can call it NFTs. Just we'll go back in time 6 or 12 months, just as a way to experience ourselves, like to see a gap in a marketplace or a community that needs a certain whatever, you fill in the blank, and then for everyone to get organized around it in a way that they didn't really have awareness of before that. They didn't really understand the whole life cycle of, we call them projects, but really it's like it's a company, right? So it's like, and then through the learning of this NFT project, maybe it makes it to market, maybe it doesn't. Like everybody gets out of it what they need in order to grow personally to move on to the next thing. So they're almost like it's nothing that's serious going on here.
But I
Yeah.
still think that it's this kind of building this kind of awareness it takes like a lot of effort. Like we kind of say that it solves itself out, because it's not like you put like a final declaration before you know what is currently going on. But I still, like, at least I personally see that like every day, like basically almost every day, I think about how I want to be like attached to every project. So I still think that it takes a lot of effort, but I think it's just about allowing it to give some time and space, you know, because sometimes you just don't see the whole picture. So I think this is where it is necessary to give space, but you should still be very, like, put a lot of effort into being like critical, like you know, like about like whether these projects are for you or not. So I still think there is like lots of effort to be done.
For me, there's not effort. For me, there's like, I think of it like energy or light. So based on where my higher mind is taking me, the journey that it has me on, because I look at it like my higher mind sorts out what's coming next, and it's my job just to enjoy the ride, basically, or just be the point of awareness now that gets to experience what is right now. So I allow the higher mind to talk to me based on what has light inside of it, like you said, Marta, your intuition, what has excitement inside of it, what am I curious about? And I let that take me into projects and take me out of projects. For me, it's very easy and effortless.
Actually, it reminds me of me like borrowing my friend's backyard, like to actually build like this permaculture. Fascinating, you know. Most of the time, that's actually like nothing much to do. You're kind of like just like spending a lot of time like studying and observing, and just like, you know, it's like the observation itself is actually a form of enjoyment. Because today you see, oh, the tomato bean sprout came out, you know. And then you go around the corner, you see like, the strawberry is like starting to grow a little, and then like nothing much to do. Mainly like just a lot of observation, and then it's like, you notice like this new like species got transplanted from somewhere, and like, then you like start like doing some research. It's like, what species is this? Should it like be sticking around in the garden, or should it like be pruned, or should it be like allocated somewhere else so that the energy, you know, the use of nutrients become more balanced? Yeah, there's not some work, but like a lot of it is just observing, rather than kind of like trying to like, oh, I need to redo the whole garden like again like today. Is like, doesn't seem to like go with the flow. That's like nature,
Beautiful.
it's like dancing with nature almost.
Dancing. Let's all dance.
Yeah,
I mean,
We are
depends what
dancing.
experience you decide or what. Right now, we were talking about it at the beginning. You can either go with the flow because you understand the energies and that you were with some energy brought here to the earth to experience it, and you can go with the flow because now you get it. Like it's like, yeah, Neil said, effortless. I just go. I get the right signs and it's cool. Or you decide to be the creator. You understand that, hey, I can
Yes.
actually change it, and then take action towards something else. I mean, at some point you may get bored with this just going with the flow, and what if I do something absolutely different and I don't necessarily go just with this flow? Maybe it can be even more fun if I play the god in some way.
I love
So
it.
you're all god.
So I think that like it's so I do think that maybe because of course, like being a creator all the time, it also can get exhausting, you know. That's why it's like all about like you want to get into a project, you see like you do something doesn't work out and so on, but also so you kind of experience these things, right? You create, you like put your energy into that, but then also just take a step back and let yourself observe how not only your energy is playing the role here, but also like the energy of other people involved. And I think this is when going with the flow is necessary. You know, you should be also in these moments being observant. You know, like going with the flow is just it's key. And I think this is when like the things just resolve itself. You know, by your own like contribution, and also like the contribution of others. So
I
I think
just
this.
imagine myself some god on vacation because this is the cycle now that I'm going on vacation. Let's
Yeah.
rest. But well, I mean, there are cycles. So even we as gods, and considering that we should balance yin and yang, which is like one side is manifesting, the other one is receptive, more power. Then still, yeah, within ourselves, we'll just feel like I need to balance it. It's not like being a god, being a creator. It means a creator means like I need to be constantly on action. No.
Yeah, it reminds me of when I was like doing like ballroom dancing. My ex-girlfriend, like she used to be a dance instructor. So when we dance, right, like a lot of times you think the man is actually leading it, but actually half the time actually like also like letting the man know like where she wants to go. So it's like the locus of control shifts
Gary,
between
you
both
sound like a
partners.
robot, I
Sometimes
think.
the guy has. Hello?
He was manifesting the
Can you hear
robot
me?
machines too much. I think you should turn off the video maybe,
Camera?
and then it will be channeling
Yeah.
better.
All right. So,
I heard you. I heard what you're saying.
Yeah. So it's like it's between like the locale control shifts between like one dancer and the other. Sometimes like maybe like one dancer has an idea and like decides to explore, and the other dancer goes along, and then sometimes the other dancer have like a new idea, and the other dancer, the first dancer has kind of like not much idea. Okay, let's just go along and explore. It's kind of like a flow and a dance. It's like that.
Oh, I love dance. Like honestly, I think that when I was younger, like of course I was not maybe so like into energy, but I think that dance also, I think it teaches also it taught so many kids so much awareness about themselves, so much about their energies, because you cannot be a good dancer if you only repeat the moves that you're taught in a choreography, because then there's like nothing, like there's not your heart in it. But then like usually the dancers that were very good at putting their heart into it, they would mess up the choreography completely. So it's also, so it's I think it's really like dance, like I think maybe not so obviously, but it teaches you to, and also like when you dance in like with another person, like I love that there's this new dance, you have to check this out because it's called New Style Hustle. And I love this because it's like modern hip hoppy kind of dance, but it's you dance it like with a partner, and it's completely, you have to improvise that, so you have to like be very much aware of like the energy between you and the partner.
Yeah.
I think you
always
Aga,
improvised.
I think you Aga, because you love dance, I think you're going to like this kind of dance.
I mean, I never actually learned any
It's big in
choreography,
Warsaw, by
like
the way.
just to follow some steps. No, I was always like, I feel it.
Yeah,
I don't know,
it's
maybe I was
the
some
best.
Latino before, and I had this like feeling of
Reggaeton
learning
is the best.
Spanish
Yeah.
too, and these vibes from Latino music are just like crazy for me.
When you're in Berlin, Aga, we're going to some reggaeton classes, maybe. I mean, I also love reggaeton, like because it's I think it's exactly like reggaeton. It gives you some basis, like it's kind of like structure, but then you have to give your body into it to really make this dance interesting.
It's funny because we were just talking about this dancing also yesterday with Gary.
Yeah.
You are pushing me too much, guys. On the
I guess it's just like a message from the universe for you to start dancing now.
Yeah, because my last dances were with my daughter, and they were like, teddy bear or something.
So nice.
Yeah, it's not the sexiest.
No, not necessarily sexy dance with my daughter. No.
And then yeah, it's like not just between the dancers, right? If you ever go to like a live like DJ kind of like party, the DJ actually feeds like the energy of the dancers, on the floor, and the dancers on the floor feed off the energy of the DJ. For example, right? Like if the DJ is just playing to an empty hall, it's kind of boring. But like when you like see like one or two dancers like dancing on the floor, that the DJ starts like experimenting with different mixing, and if the dancer is in tune enough with the music, then it's like probably like pick up, hey, that's the main rhythm, but actually there's like a 2-3 layer there's actually a few like other beats that you can like move to instead of like the main beat, And then we kind of start experimenting with that, right? Like the dance becomes more interesting, and the DJ might pick it up, and it's like, okay, wow, this is resonating with the crowd. Let's like layer in more stuffs. So it's kind of like interaction, you know? Even like when I was like playing in the jazz trio on the keyboard, when we're like doing improvisation after like the whole the head is like over, the improvisation is like a kind of like an interaction between like all the different like musicians. Yeah, it's a transfer of energy.
So what I'm hearing you say, just to make it sort of like real for what Aga's talking about, is like if the project is meeting you halfway,
Mm-hmm.
like they are kind of like, I mean, here, right?
Yeah.
It's like everybody shows up. I
Mm-hmm.
apologize for being late today, but everybody shows up and enough, and so you feel like you're not doing all of the work for everybody else, and it's like a contribution that's sort of balanced. Then that's like a project you want to be a part of. If you feel like you've got to hold somebody's hand through something that you don't really want to, or this project hasn't learned something that maybe you've already learned and you're not willing to go through it with them to do that, then it's like there's more resistance there than there is flow. So it's like just see what happens, give it back to them, see what, maybe it'll come back to you in a month or 6 months or whatever.
Like actually I would phrase it different, like when if I kind of like whenever I like choose to prioritize or deprioritize the project, I just like use my sense. Is there enough enthusiasm in this project? If not, then like just cut it, move on, and leave.
Yes, enthusiasm, and also like what are they doing, because a lot of times, kind of like Aga would say, like they miss the point because they didn't spend enough time listening or really figuring out, or Gary, the product market fit. Or go ahead,
Yeah.
Marta.
And no, I just wanted to say then, like, I think it's important to define what is enthusiasm, because I think there are many different, forms of enthusiasm. There is enthusiasm that you, for example, have in the very beginning when you hear something and you're very excited and you go into it, and then it fades away, like there's like this kind of enthusiasm, but and it's not very sustainable. And there's like another kind of enthusiasm that I feel like every day I just feel like this tiny bit happy that, okay, maybe now I will just have to work with Excel sheet, but this project is so cool that I still feel like a tiny bit excited, so it just gives me this like a little bit of more energy to actually go for it.
You are using telepathy now, because I wanted to bring it to where, and I have answer for you, because where this energy comes from, this enthusiasm, from within or from outside. And that's like probably the first case that you expressed was like, I'm super excited because I feel the energy around me, that people are excited, so I'm jumping in. And then I realized, oh my god, what I'm doing here? That's not something that what I wanted. And I start to realize that's not the thing. And the energy goes lower because, and consciously or unconsciously, the most dangerous one is like unconsciously, because then you suddenly just start to lower your vibes. You feel like you don't fit here. Something is wrong, and it would start to bring some negative energy just because you don't feel okay in this place. That wasn't for you. You were driven by outside energy. And yet if you truly ask yourself, like, give yourself some time, that's what I feel like, do nothing for a moment, guys. Like meditate on it, clear your space, and do I truly feel it? Like, I imagine myself in this kind of project with this kind of people, because there are so many aspects into every project. It's not like just project itself or idea, but a couple of things around it too. Do I see myself or not? And then when it's this excitement that it's like,
It's like, go
But
ahead.
you might have to jump in, and you might have to find yourself in a lot of spaces in order to get that clarity, though. To figure out if it's you or if it's them, or if it's. It takes experience to reach the place that you've reached, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I've been like through a lot of different projects for past years, and different people. And I see I'm catching myself, like, it's faster. Maybe that this is not something that resonates with me. Like,
Mm.
Not
Mhm.
without bringing any names here, like recent situation where I got like, no, I'm not jumping into project out of pity feeling. It's
Oh,
not what I want to do. And
But even on the other side, excitement. Like I've something recently came across my desk that
mhm.
I was my desk, my quote unquote desk, and I was super excited about it for a few days because it had a lot of elements that I've run into in the past that I don't hold any resistance to, and so. But then, synchronicity wouldn't let me act on it. Just a quick story. The first time, my computer was with my in-laws in the mountains, so I couldn't connect my wallet. Then I got my computer. I spilt a glass of Pellegrino water on the keyboard as I was going to take action on it. Which
Oh.
my computer works great. It's all good, but it was just like this. It wouldn't let me do it, so I knew it wasn't for me. So I just let it go.
Mm.
Yeah, it can be also like this is not the time. I also
Yeah.
had
True.
like from my past some situations where I had the feeling this is the right thing to do, but not in this particular moment
Mm.
in your
Yes.
life. You need to learn still some things, and then you will be able to jump back into something. But it's not the right moment for you.
Yeah. It's like actually reminds me of like this like saying in the 孙子 Art of War, right? 天时地利人和. The time of heaven and the location on earth and the people that's actually like there. So some projects like you see that's actually like interesting and promising, but the problem is the elements that's required for it to work is like not there yet. So there's kind of key missing elements. So when like you have a key missing element for too long, the enthusiasm will naturally die down, right? But if you kind of like see, this project, every time I fill up a gap, another gap opens up, and like you see someone else naturally coming in to fill up the gap, and then like it becomes like a virtuous cycle, and then the enthusiasm is sustained, you know.
Yeah.
But if like then like if the project hits a snag, it's like, hey, that's a critical gap, and like the hole is not filled for like a long time, then maybe it's not meant to be, and then just drop
Mhm.
on, you know.
I think important is to ask ourselves what we actually want. So I see a project, I'm kind of drawn into it, but
Yep.
why? Because
Mm.
like constructively thinking, I find it interesting because of the people
Yeah.
that I'm working there with, or the idea, or I don't know, maybe there was a big money involved. You know, there are different things that you may consider why I'm
Mm.
into this project and what works, what doesn't work, and then maybe
Yeah.
well, we are the creators, so we can manifest whatever we actually like feel there. What is missing maybe can come into this project, but it can be a totally
Mhm.
different project
Mm.
which has all the things that we
Mhm.
were missing in the other one. I know you
Exactly.
understand me, guys.
Yeah, because it's
mixture.
like a vibration, right? So
Yeah.
the idea is that if everything's vibration in the universe, so when you stop one quote unquote project and you start a new one, you're not starting over from zero. You are all the vibrations of all the projects you've been involved with, all the good parts that you love come together into this new one to be birthed, because it's like a new consciousness that wants to be birthed into the world through you.
Good point. And that's why like VCs also tend to invest in people, even if they failed in
Yeah.
previous projects, they would rather invest in this kind of
Mm.
startup because well, they probably learned their lessons through the past
Yeah.
experiences. And it's
Actually,
kind of like we gather all these lessons, we are coming into the new one. Now I know what I want and how to lead this project or be part of the project. Yeah, different
Beautiful.
consciousness, as you mentioned, Neil. Great
and
great
also
summary.
better VCs, they kind of like already learn how to work as founder, right? So like the VC don't just like put the money and just be done, right? Like the VC, a few ones I know, like some of those in the network as well. They put in their cash and they start like helping on the marketing side with the branding and opening the doors. So if like the guy's like the lead, right, the project lead or like the founder or whatever, actually you already kind of like know that he or she, when you like dump some connections like him, he kind of like knows how to structure it, like piece it into the business model on the execution side. then you're like kind of comfortable working with this person. It's like, okay, take the cash you lead, and now like throw in my resources.
Yeah, the nice thing about VC is you don't have to take 3 years to get this thing to market. You know, there's like a resonance with the 3D reality or 4D reality.
Yep.
Well, it's like if you want to be a part of the ecosystem of the landscape now or in the next 3 months, or you then you're there. I like that about it.
And then the thing about VCs as well is like you don't see them as VCs, you see them as like an ecosystem, right? For example, kind of like take cash flow like from Sequoia. Suddenly you're part of the Sequoia then you can like really tap into their talent pool as well as the connection you have like all the other startups. If you're enterprise like solution, then basically like you already kind of like have open door to those. Same with like the Y Combinator like ecosystem. They're like more like ecosystem in that regard. Yeah.
Like I think then we need to just ask ourselves like how much I'm ready to compromise, because
Yeah. Then then it's like actually like at the end of the day it's still back to values, right? Like for example, there are like some like that's really exciting, but when I kind of like go back to like see, all right, what's the mission like I'm trying to like go up? What's the values? Like okay, autonomy, integrity, and diversity. Okay, does it actually fit the criteria? No. Okay, forget about it. Does it actually like help with like surfacing truth in the world? No. Okay, forget about it. Then like basically like 95% of all the projects that comes my way just like gets dropped. And then, in fact, like the past like week or more, I was like at this hackathon and all these events. I meet a lot of people, right? Then probably like just only one or two of them are kind of like invited into like the network. The rest is like irrelevant. They just like stay out of it, I mean, like kind of connect with them like somewhere else, but I never like invite them into the network.
I want to try this analogy with you guys. I'm not attached to it, so I can throw it out. But let me just spin this up. So it's like you're cooking peas, and some of the peas are poison. These are the bad projects, or the projects that we don't want to be a part of, not bad ones, but right. And so we're going through the pot trying to separate the poison peas from the good peas, or the ones that are edible. And it's like at some point there's got to be like a field beyond sorting through peas, and that field is the field of knowing, and you get that knowing from Aga, the experience you have in all these different projects you've walked into. And also there can be a moment where you can just put your energy over it, or just your hands over on top of the white paper. You don't have to read it and you can feel the energy from it, and you can say this is for me or this isn't for me.
Yeah, and that's how we learn. Like I think that's why the best learning is through experience anyway. Like you can learn something from books, but until you experience it and until you actually face it, like, and you'll see what you've done. That doesn't count that much. I mean, it's good to know that also this reading or listening to something, watching, but it's so different when you experience. And is it like kind of you were trying before this different piece? I don't know, you burned your tongue a couple of times and now you get it, like this one are slightly different than this one, so you can go faster separating them. I like this analogy.
Actually, I would like to propose a slightly different analogy.
Without poison.
Imagine I wake up and I feel like eating, say, Japanese udon or Japanese ramen, and I'm kind of like deciding to cook. I'll probably go to the fridge and figure out like which ones actually like eventually when I put them all in a pot, they'll like come out into very delicious like ramen. It's like the projects are kind of like the ingredients, right? It's like, okay, this project doesn't really fit well the ramen experience I want. And you kind of like piece together a bunch that you kind of like, oh, okay, right. If all this goes into a pot and comes out as a dish, I'm sure I'll really enjoy it.
Also nice analogy, like sometimes these ingredients that are on the plate like kind of don't match. Don't make sense altogether. Like someone would laugh at what we Polish do with we eat pasta with strawberries and with sugar, with cream. And
why
then
is it balanced?
Sorry?
Is the dish balanced? I mean, like it sounds like nice.
It is very good. We love it. But then when my Italian friend heard that, he was like, it's a profanation, basically, of our pasta, which is, all about being salty. But then maybe something that doesn't look balanced in the first. Yeah, maybe not everything works good. Anyway.
At the end of the day, it's you that's eating the pasta, it's not the Italian eating your pasta, right? So if pasta, so be it. If he looks like, say, what the hell is that? It's like, it's not your pasta, it's mine pasta. I mean, if you want a better pasta for yourself, go make your own. Back to the
I mean,
right?
Get out of my pasta.
Get out of my pasta.
I'm trying to imagine different ingredients that maybe don't match well. I mean, you can still eat it, but afterwards you may have some stomach problems. Anyway, because they have different, juices, and they can create different enzymes in your body. So your body will just show it like this doesn't work together. Anyway.
Yeah, like reminds me of the stone soup, like a folk story, like in Eastern Europe. There's like a homeless, homeless, like traveler comes to the entrance of the village and decides like he wants to make a pot of soup. So the only thing he did was like boil like a pot in front of the village, like entrance. And all the villagers like, what is this? It's like a stone soup. It's like, what the fuck? Stone soup? There's only a like fucking stone in like the pot with the water. It's like, okay, sure. Can I try some? I say, yeah. You can try some when it's ready later, Then like the traveler say to them, but you have to give me your like leftovers from last night. Then the villager comes and gives the leftover, and like the traveler takes it and throws it into the pot, right? And like this cycle repeats until like everybody, every villager's like leftovers in the pot, one way or the other. Come evening, everyone came and like enjoyed the soup. It tasted really good, like that.
Crowdsourced.
Yeah, crowdsourced, right? Like, I actually
or open source.
Open source, crowdsourced, decentralized sourcing is like that. Like from my perspective, is the best way to create projects, no, or best way to get involved in projects, no.
And just to help where you can.
Yeah.
Like give with your heart, and then not be attached to the outcome of it, and then give somewhere else with your heart, and
I mean, maybe at the end of the evening, like the soup comes out like shit, but it's okay. It's a fun It's entertainment, huh?
Yeah. Gotta love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious how much of this soup we can take. Even if it's a good one. Yeah, we have some limits, like how much we can take of this soup, one or another.
Yeah, maybe go to a different village, They probably have.
And the mixture between all of them, all the food that we eat every day.
Put some.
Well,
Indian
that's why I fast. What'd you say, Tushar?
Put some Indian spices also.
Oh, man.
Perfect.
In your pasta.
I just had some yesterday.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah. But if you're kind of like an experienced traveler, like one of the villagers about to dump like that shitty radish into the soup, and that breed doesn't really go well with any soup. It's like, you know what? It's okay. I'll just set it aside as a decoration. It's not going to go into the soup. People can look at it when they're having the soup. That's where experience comes in, man.
Well, you're always getting back what you're putting out, So if you put the rotten radish in the soup, then that never goes on you. I'll just fast that day anyway.
Yeah, that's like where all the R&D trial and error is, right? It's probably like, okay, I get like I've done this project. Okay, this like rotten radish actually went inside. All right, next project, this rotten radish, I'll just remove it, or like if it's not too late, like scoop it out and toss it away, right?
Okay, what if we decide to do something together? Like we call it a project, we have to call it the rotten radish.
Yeah. Hey, actually, it would be interesting, like the do nothing society with the rotten radish.
Yes, I love it.
Like, what would be really funny? Yeah, I was like, remember I was texting the other day, like all the memes from all the movies, they are like fucking going viral all the time, right? You kind of like mint those as a NFT collection and call it the rotten radish collection.
Oh, That's gold right there.
Yeah, it's like so shitty. It's just a viral. And then like the way I would imagine every person comes up with their own like contribute one of those NFT that's like most memorable to them, like to that NFT collection just for the fun.
Oh man, I love it.
It's so funny.
I don't know how to go back to our topic now.
Well, through food. Take it through food.
Okay, go back.
I mean, my mother is already showing me some food. She just arrived, and then she's like, I cooked for this for you. I got this.
Oh, what a gift! What a gift!
So I mean, I don't know. Maybe she's hearing us.
Yeah.
Telepathy.
Yes,
Yeah, we're talking about food. Okay, guys. Yeah. Do you have some other thoughts about energy management?
Well, like just through food. That
Well, actually, food.
if you stop eating it, you have more energy.
Sometimes, no, not
Yeah,
all
because then the energy that is used in digesting food, you are saving that.
Yeah, and
you
the
have more
time.
energy.
yeah.
There's like infinite energy you restore by just stopping eating.
Yeah. And then kind of giving out the energy back to the soil, huh? Then the plants can take it.
Mm.
I mean, I don't think it's about like restoring energy when you're fasting. Actually, you should not make too much activity because you don't create that much energy. However, it's restart, no, for the body. Reset. Yeah. Killing what's not working and building what should be built new.
New brain cells grow.
Yeah.
Stem cells go up.
Mm-hmm.
You clean off your like cancer cells if you had any, or any old cells that need cleaned up.
That's
like
good.
it's just like a replenishment, I guess, and then a growth.
Actually, in terms of like fasting, I think it's like much better than like having to work out all the time, because when you work out, you're like wearing out your joints. So.
It's all a belief system, right?
I don't think it's like one is good or bad. It's like depends on the cycles.
Because
the moment that you are in, like, can be different part of moon cycle or the season, different season.
Well, I've been getting clarity just in the now that I've spent a lot of time healing here recently. And I'm super, super thankful for it. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. And I want to have new experiences again. You know, I came here to experience things. So I'm inviting in what that can look like.
That's very cool.
And I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of light in that for me.
Good. What happens to do nothing society then?
It's just doing nothing.
Wait for the next season.
Oh no, I didn't say I'm gonna do a lot, but I'm gonna. No, but there's a time for everything. There's a do nothing
that's what
time.
I'm saying. Like, it cycles.
It cycles. Yeah, it cycles. And trust me, I'm still gonna have my meditation practice and my fasting practice and days where I do nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's not excluding. Yeah.
I can't be dancing marathon 24 hours a day. I'll probably like die of like exhaustion. I probably need to do nothing at some point during the day.
I think you guys never worked like for some company that you actually do nothing and you feel exhausted about doing nothing there.
No, never done that.
Yeah, I was at some corporate that it was just like having people there, and some of them like, I was really doing nothing and I was exhausted. I didn't know what to do with myself, like freaking out. I have to sit in front of the computer and pretend that I'm working, even though my boss knows that he has nothing to give me. And I was even asking like, maybe let's reduce the, how much I'm working per day, something, because it doesn't make sense. You're paying and I'm exhausted too.
I'm doing nothing. You're doing nothing.
And no. He said like, you have to work, like, you have to be here. It's like about your presence here. You have to go.
So I don't believe doing nothing is like that, because sometimes if you are exhausted, then probably in that circumstance you didn't want to be there, right? And you were resisting that you didn't want to be there.
Yeah.
So the resistance caused you to be exhausted.
Yeah. The resistance is not doing nothing, man. You're like telling me.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
not doing nothing.
I don't have so much of my inner energy, and yet I had to go like 12 hours, yes, outside of my home. I was coming back exhausted because of this.
Oh
It was
yeah, you
like
weren't
drink
doing nothing.
there, like 1.5 hours, then being
Yeah.
there 9 hours because you are obliged to take 1 hour break,
Mm,
and then coming back. I was just exhausted by this, like just traveling, going, sitting there.
yeah.
I would find like something to play with there and to have fun, but yeah, really like body, like physical exhaustion there was too.
Actually, then you're doing a lot of.
Mm.
You're doing 12 hours worth of effort. Wow, that's a lot of doing. Wow. See, do nothing is like very
And now
different.
I know that I don't want to go back into any kind of job like this. That they
No.
force me to sit in
Yeah.
the office and
Clarity.
yeah.
Right? Autonomy. It's back to autonomy.
Yeah.
You have
I
full
mean,
autonomy.
but you have autonomy, you have responsibility, you're a manager of your own time, and then it's up to you where you put the energy, and it's only you to blame. Yeah, so you get it. And,
Well, time
I
is an
put my energy.
experience. Time, you mentioned time. Time is, it's almost like we created time so that we could have a certain experience. So you are the creator of your time.
Time is change, what I believe, like this cycles. We just define it like it's not linear. So like, you know, like now it's a different period for me. With different understanding, I'm still moving up, forward somewhere. Yeah, and different. Like dancing. And yeah, that's so much dancing. Because you go like in the cycles, like round.
Really is dancing. It's like
Yeah, it
like
is.
and don't force yourself. Just like go to another like room and like dance to another music. Life is short, no?
And then the moves are going like smoother and smoother. The more you dance, you go like with the practice, you can, I don't know, go faster. Yeah, you can make more bold moves maybe there on the stage or where the dance floor. So yeah, let's.
What kind
We
of
go
what
back
kind
to
of
the dance. Okay, we go out to.
what kind of bold moves do you want to make, Aga, on the dance floor? The dance floor of your life.
I'm going to do like dirty dancing stuff.
Yeah.
No, the dance floor of your life. It sounds like there's a bold move you want to make.
Like
Bold
so many
move.
all the time, no? So much rhythm that you can tap into. That's so nice, so beautiful.
I believe
I
that
like
we
this
should not
term.
share our bold moves, what we
Oh, yeah.
like deep inside we want to do. Also, my experience when I share it too much or to someone, then it may not work well. And I think it's also in some different religions, doctrines, philosophies that I learned. There was something mentioned there. Maybe not talk too much to some people about what you want there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Somehow with the energy of others.
Yeah.
Maybe depends on who you share it with. If the people are more like a jealous types and not ready to like.
Yeah, you got to
be
share with
you
people
there.
that you trust.
Yeah.
Has to be a trusted relationship there.
Yeah, like kind of trusted, but they are also similar, like understanding, and they will not. Yeah, by their jealousy, I don't know which emotion exactly.
They will
They
give
would
good
not
energy
destroy
to
your
it.
dream.
Yes, they will
because they can
contribute to your good
sabotage.
energy.
Yeah, kind of your energy.
Get your point of view.
And at the same time, whatever you want to do takes sharing with others too. So there's a balance there. So there's a moment for sharing and there's a moment for not sharing.
Yeah. I think yesterday, like Gary, our talk gave me a lot of clarity. Like it's like hearing it out loud and like I told you guys, that's what I had. Like I need to resonate with another person, and I hear my voice. I get it. Like suddenly, And that's what you should do, and like focus, and I'm fine with it. And that's
just let it flow, Actually,
yeah,
like
it's what I want to put my energy. That's what I want to give it.
I like always like seen like my life as kind of like a jazz improvisation. Like the way like I improvise is like I see 4 bar at a time, and then like okay, what's the most interesting like rhythm I can like experiment with like during this 4 bar. Sometimes it's just all right. This like rhythm did not work. Okay, you know what? Just whatever. Like the next 4 bar has opened up. No time for the past. Okay, you can like okay, maybe like next time I'll try again like some variant or like kind of move on to some other totally different motif and like try experimenting with that, right? And like meanwhile the other musicians can come in and throw in their stuff and we'll see what happens. It's a dance, It's like art. It's like the flow of energy.
Mm.
It's always a flow.
It's like, electric.
Yes. It's like beautiful. Like life is art, Art is life. And life is energy.
The
So
song.
energy should be art.
The music of your life.
Yes. So beautiful. It's flowing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I play jazz every day on my guitar.
It's nice, right? Yeah. When we meet we should like jam together if you have keyboard.
It's my highest excitement.
Oh, it's the best. It's beautiful, man.
You need a keyboard, huh?
Yeah, keyboard. And then,
oh, cool.
Nice.
Well, let's create that possibility.
Let's do that, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best. Yeah, it's like so beautiful, when you like play a song and then like you kind of like meet up with like musicians that kind of like resonate and kind of like and then they can start trading ideas. He tries like something, she tries like something. I hear it, I got inspired, I throw in my own motive, and it kind of like resonates, and then like it kind of builds up from there. And then the music becomes more and more complex because of all the interweaving interaction, right? And it actually in itself becomes beautiful. So while you're enjoying the music by listening to it, you're also creating the music at the same time.
What a gift.
Yeah, it's like beautiful. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's how the life is. We're part of it, and we are also receiving and manifesting at the same time. That's the yin and yang I also mentioning. I don't think it's about positive, negative in the sense that I have bad side and good side. It's more like I'm receptive or I'm manifesting.
Or I'm like resting.
And balance it and do it in the same time, like you mentioned. I'm listening and I'm creating at the same moment.
Yeah. Like when I kind of like dance, actually fully dance, I realized like the interesting dances are the ones with like a lot of counterbalance. Like okay, the way they're shifting in like one direction or what the partner is kind of like moving in the other direction, so that there's actually a lot of tension. And then sometimes you kind of have tension all the time, right? Then you kind of like okay, relax the tension. It's kind of like a tension and no tension, tension and no tension, balance and counterbalance and like nothing. And then like okay, it's a dance again. It's so beautiful. It's always dancing. I feel like today is all about dancing.
Well, one of the things I like about dancing is like you are in a state of observation where everything is good. Like there's no wrong. There's not really wrong inside of it. It's all beautiful and wonderful and exciting and
If you step on someone's feet.
That is part of the experience.
Once I had the situation that the guy was like turning me around and then he wanted to put me like low down. I think he was too drunk and then he felt on me, like hit my the forehead on my forehead. I'm there on the floor like
oh my God.
I got this kid, I don't know. Yeah. How would you say it for this kind of experience? Accident?
Clarity.
Clarity, not dance with a drunk guy anymore.
Yes, like
and no bold moves. Oh yeah, no bold moves with someone who's not ready or not in the state. Yeah, not in the state.
Choose your partner carefully. Choose your partner carefully. Whom you dance with.
Well, another way to say it provides a good like entertaining story to tell like a bunch of friends in the future, like for energy, like how it's like energizing this conversation right now.
Yeah, I mean, I was laughing. Yeah, I was laughing. I'm just saying, like, with this dancing, I actually have a lot of experiences. I love to dance and party in my student time. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, that was pretty
That was wonderful.
fun. Not fun. I think I had like eye like like a purple eye
Oh my,
afterwards.
oh my.
And because I was living with another guy in one apartment. So then everybody was laughing that we like I gave him a bad soup, by the way, soup joke, and then he hit me because I cooked something wrong. It was like a kind of I don't know if you had it, but ad everywhere in Poland, like to prevent from domestic violence. That the lady was with the black eye and because the soup was not salty enough or something.
Oh wow.
And was that period? So then it was a joke like this too, and it was just wrong dancing. About the perception too, like something that seems.
I like to do the kind of dancing that you can't do wrong. That's my favorite kind of dance.
Like the side step, Jake, huh? Side step.
Show
like
us.
like the fire, the camping fire is lit. We're all dancing around the fire, shaking, beating drums, music's going, that kind of thing. Howling at the moon.
Yeah.
Have you tried like walking on fire like this hot?
I've never felt the inspiration to walk on coals. I'm sure I could do it, but
I did it.
cool.
Also, like the mind experience. I think that was the first one, like too crazy.
Yeah.
Because it's about your shifting your mind, and then you can walk through, and you don't feel the heat.
Yeah. So you can't be seeing the heat, right? You have to be seeing something else.
I mean, you don't feel it. It's just you walk there, and you that's what they were telling us.
How did you do it?
before.
Like, how did you focus your mind to do it?
You just think about something totally different. It's, I don't know, cold, whatever, something else. And you distract your mind, and then your senses, actually. I was really surprised that, I think I took something to be more bold, like bolder, but maybe like alcohol, I think. I was not taking anything else back then. So. But
a permission slip.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, let's go ahead. Like some cool experience that I can say afterwards. I would not jump on bungee or something like this. That's too crazy. No, I'm not bold enough to do that. I don't see fun in it.
You didn't come here,
guys?
You didn't come here for that experience.
No, maybe I died when falling or something, and it doesn't feel like fun for me.
I did like something similar, not off the bridge, off the plane.
Oh, cool.
Whoa! You know the funny thing about falling, like from that height, after like a few seconds, when you achieve terminal velocity, you don't feel like you're falling anymore. You feel like you're floating. You feel like you're flying, and it's like a wonderful feeling.
Skiing is like that, and mountain biking is like that. And
Yeah, it's that flow, right? It's kind of like the entry into that velocity kind of like feels a little scary, like disorienting. But once you like hit that terminal velocity, you just like fly.
You relax.
You relax.
Relax into it.
Really flow with like Mother Nature in this case.
So I think that's the key to whatever project comes about, is that I think the key is to relax into it.
Yeah, that's true. Relax into it, If it like starts feeling like it's forcing me to kind of do some unnatural, like awkward move, then maybe it's kind of like asking for too much.
Well, I think you have to check in with yourself at that point. Is it my negative belief that's making it feel that way, or is there something for me to transcend there, or is it really something on the outside that doesn't align?
The alignment, and don't force it. And it's simple. Life is simple.
Yeah, we should
Mm-hmm.
be on similar frequencies, so we create the synergy of this
Yes.
project, and on this different aspects of this project, like people and the what's the
Hmm.
idea behind the values. And if there it's not, then uh, yeah, we will probably we will adjust our energies. So someone is
I
lowering, someone is putting maybe higher, or
Hmm.
like a band.
It's like a band.
yeah, yeah,
Yes, we're all playing different instruments. We're all
Yeah.
playing different frequencies in a way, but together we create something beautiful that sounds beautiful.
Hmm.
symphony, symphony harmony.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like that's why there are many inspirations in music. I love it. I feel like
Mm.
Yeah. They're
the
the
sound
best.
healing.
Hmm.
It's yeah, and actually, I think five sounds that come that is optimal
Mm.
for healing our body. When
Mm.
you put five of these frequencies that are on each other, that's
Mm-hmm.
the best well booster for us to create
Mm.
life more life force and also to heal our body. But they
Mm.
need to be also in kind of good synchronicity, like to each other. Uh, you know what I mean? Like they fit together, or
Like the
then
solfeggio's frequencies or
yeah,
sacred geometry
they
shapes or
yeah
yeah.
yeah. If something is not like off balance of their own resonance, that you will be feeling that. And
The good thing is like it's all nature, so everything we need is always all around us. You know.
uh, yeah, I'm thinking like how it's related to our projects and
Everything's already here that we
Yeah.
need.
You know the really funny thing that you mentioned that is like looking at the after kind of like spending some time to plot out the network topography for like the cipher defense network, and then I was like, uh, all right, who's gonna populate those sites? And then Vladko called me at 5 a.m. in the morning, huh? Like 2 days ago. Da 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 da, and it's like saying, oh, that part, yeah, I'll bring like my folks. It's like, okay, well, 20,000 plus people just came in like that, right? Supply side done. Yeah, it's all in the environment, though. They just have to come in. Hmm.
Mm.
do you want to add something?
Me? No, it's like
Anyone? I want to wrap up because it's already more than 2 hours for us with Tushar.
yes,
And my mother arrived home, so I would like to spend some time with her since I'm here.
Yeah, sure, we can wrap up.
Yes, but
yep.
maybe you have some final thoughts about something to share. To share, Tushar.
Yes, like my name so much rhymes with it. I myself also used to share. That's what my name means. Like I have to share whatever it is. Again, with energy management, and that's quite required, quite necessary. And like I said before, we have to manage our mental energy, physical energy, emotional energy, and once and like energies at the workspace, even with the physical energies, even the geometries, what you are doing, Aga, in that in the geometry field, and right, like, and even the geometry of your house, your living room, your car, whatever it is, you have to manage, because each and everything in your life is affecting your energy itself. And once we manage the energies in distinct areas of our life, definitely life in those areas is going to get better. And one area affect the other. If you're happy in a relationship, you can work better, at your workplace. If you're doing good at your workplace, you can give your time to your relationships. So everything is related, managing the health. So it's actually a 360-degree approach, and entire ecosystem has to be built around energy management to live a better, happy, and peaceful life.
Which comes from within. Like,
Everything comes from it,
yeah, and
but
here we
it
are.
comes from within, and it requires an external stimulus also. Like right now, when we're talking to each other, we are getting that external stimulus from each and everybody else. Correct. Like right now, if we might be, like I can go to a club and dance. Okay, I won't be thinking of managing the energy, but from your approach of bringing this topic up, I am thinking it this way, right? So we have to push each of ourselves up also in the journey and lift each and every other person.
We are definitely influencing each other,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we also decide how much of it we want to receive or give, and it's up
actually,
to us. So it's
totally an intrinsic game. Totally, it's coming from
yeah.
inside.
So it's like I may decide that I'm not. I'm like putting a shield on myself. For instance, if there is a negative energy coming on me, I'm not letting it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Any other final thoughts, Neil, Gary?
Just dance.
Let's dance. Alors on danse.
Just dance.
There's a French
And
one.
rotten radishes. Rotten radishes.
So nice.
Bon appetit.
I think
Bon
we should,
appetit.
the rotten radish collection would be interesting.
Yeah.
Everybody throw your rotten radish into the pot and see what's up.
Alors on danse.